Welcome to this new video where we'll talk briefly. Racing game news today includes updates about Project Motor Racing, Forza Motorsport, Forza Horizon 6, and also Assetto Corsa, which has already received a new update. Enjoy this racing game news bulletin, and please support by liking and subscribing for future videos. It's always appreciated. So, let's start this video by talking a bit about Assetto Corsa, which has received a new update. The 041 isn't a content update, so don't expect new tracks or cars after downloading. On the other hand, it's still a nice update because it fixes quite a few things that were added with the previous update. In 04, the SF25F1's aerodynamics have clearly been reworked. If you tested this car in 04, you know the aerodynamics were broken. It had far too much. It was too stuck to the ground, so it had a very low top speed, especially when you drove it. I think this applies to most players of this game. Above 200 kilometers per hour, the car had so much aerodynamic downforce that the steering wheel became incredibly stiff. A physics bug in the car's aero management caused the issue, but it's now fixed. With this 041, something else improved, which was also important. With this update, they added the BMW M3 E46 Coupe Sport Leichtbau. It's a car that was highly anticipated because, well, it's incredible. The E46 is just beautiful. The visual modeling and driving were fine, but the car's sound, especially externally, was poorly done. Our sound used to be extremely electronic and inauthentic, but now it's been reworked. Finally, this update also includes more artificial intelligence improvements. Since version 0.4, it would often panic when stuck behind a slow car. Instead of braking or slowing down, it would try to go around. This often led AIs to drive through grass and lose control. Sometimes, especially on hairpin turns, they might crash into another AI's car or yours. This is supposed to be fixed now. There are plenty of other things that have been improved with this 041. I'll share them with you. The patch notes displayed during editing mainly address debugging and refining existing content. I also wanted to talk to you about Forza in this video, of course with news about Horizon and Motorsport. The first news is about Forza Horizon 6. Remember when Horizon 6 was revealed at the Tokyo Game Show in Japan a few weeks ago? Phil Spencer said we would get new information in early 2026. That's now certain, as the Xbox Direct Conference featuring Playground games will happen on January 26, 2026. They will come to tell us more about Forza Horizon 6, and should even show us a real trailer, maybe even, I'm crossing my fingers, even though it's not guaranteed yet, some gameplay. Save January 26 to learn about Forza Horizon 6. I'll be streaming the conference as usual. Follow me on Twitch using the pinned link in the comments. This way, you'll be notified when the stream starts, and we can explore together. By the way, feel free to use your Prime subscription, it's always appreciated. And by the way too, if Forza Horizon 6 releases info in early 2026, it's likely a safe bet. The rumor that Horizon 6 may release in the first half instead of the third quarter seems plausible. So, that's the good news about Forza Horizon. Now, unfortunately, I have some rather bad news to share with you regarding Forza Motorsport. It's been a little while since he was in good shape. We learned that Turn 10, the studio behind Forza Motorsport, saw its teams disappear rapidly. We were told then that Turn 10 was dropping future Forza Motorsport development. One part would work in Forza Horizon 6, another in updates. We did get one or two updates after that announcement, which were already recycled type updates. That means that, in reality, the developers just permanently added to the game rewards and championships that had previously been added temporarily. It didn't feel good. We kept recycling content. Forza Motorsport. 2023 was meant to last 7 or 8 years, but after just 2 years, we went 4 to 6 months without updates. Yesterday, it was announced that support for Forza Motorsport 2023 has ended. The developers assigned to future Forza Motorsport updates aren't working on it at all. All the remaining staff from Turn 10 are now working on Forza Horizon 6. There are several things to say about this. The first is that the multiplayer servers for Forza Motorsport will continue to exist. So, if you're like me and bought the game back in the day, you'll still be able to play with your friends in the coming months. There are no plans to shut down the servers soon. No new cars or tracks will be added, and future seasons will just repeat previous ones. Forza Motorsport support is gone, and the Motorsport franchise is pretty much dead overall. To sum up, there's no new Motorsport in development. There are no more content updates or new updates planned for the current Forza Motorsport, and everything that was left of Turn 10 has been redirected to Forza Horizon 6. By the way, the arrival of the Turn 10 staff on Forza Horizon 6 might also be a sign that Horizon 6 will be released earlier than what we're used to seeing. They may have joined as reinforcements to help meet a second quarter 2026 release deadline. Keep an eye on Forza Horizon just in case. Forza Motorsport, however, appears to be dead. It still hurts knowing Forza was originally Forza Motorsport with Horizon coming much later. A small clarification, by the way. The developers of Motorsport did mention that they continue to host special events and competitions on Motorsport. We'll see if the remaining Forza Motorsport players keep organizing events. Not sure a dead game is really motivating for doing esports. To finish this video, I want to discuss Project Motor Racing, which revealed its short-term roadmap yesterday to clearly explain upcoming game additions over the next few months. What was actually prioritized? Just days ago, the studio behind Project Motor Racing laid off some staff after commercial failures. But just a few days later, they released update 1.5.0.2 if I'm not mistaken, an update that overall was well received and brought a lot of improvements. A common criticism of the game, the driving, is now more realistic with much stronger force feedback. There are 3 priority projects for this motor racing. The first is the penalty system, which will undergo a complete overhaul. That's good news, since the penalty system has been terrible until now. Sometimes the AI spins you out and you get penalized. Sometimes you hit the gravel trap, lose time, and still get a 4-second penalty. Another point mentioned as a priority is the restructuring and improvement of career mode. Personally, I think the career mode is pretty cool. You must manage your budget and cover damages, among other expenses. Overall, some things, especially the damage system, already don't work well. When you get hit by an AI, it's still you who has to repair the damage to your car, which seems a bit stupid. Most importantly, there's no clear goal. After finishing a season, you just start another, and so on, without a clear goal, which can be frustrating. At the same time, they will continue to improve the game's graphics, improve the driving, and debug the game. But let's say that's kind of part of the usual business for the Project Motor Racing staff. They are also in advanced development of a whole bunch of features. For example, adding a proximity radar to a small part of the heads-up display lets you see exactly where opponents are to avoid collisions. Support for PC virtual reality, native triple screen, new online modes, and redesigned interface menus. It's true that it's pretty simplistic. The game was criticized for that, but above all, it's not very clear. For example, having the force feedback settings for each car in the car setup tab isn't very clear. That's just a simple example, but there are quite a few things like that in the game. And then the rolling start, since in the game right now, we only have standing starts, which means that on tracks where the first corner is pretty tight. I'm thinking of Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, for example, or Monza. We often get stuck in traffic jams with collisions, unable to move faster than 5 kilometers per hour. It's still a bit annoying, so it's a work in progress. Let's hope Project Motor Racing turns things around and isn't just a Forza Motorsport copy. Forza Motorsport improved over time, but the studio eventually closed. That was the day's news. I hope you found the video interesting, and if you did, I'm counting on you to show it, as usual.